Right. Hey, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. This is Jeremy, Regional Entertainment News. We have Nick Davison, otherwise known as the Bearded Drummer, the Red Drummer, and one of the greatest drummers of our generation right now. How's it going, Nick?
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's going pretty well, man. How about you?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's actually cold in Joplin, so it's about 40 degrees out here.
Oh, dude, really? Well, we just had a tornado scare last night in Nashville.
Oh,
It's been super windy today as well.
well, I want to let fans know that you're getting ready to go on the road again. You're going to be starting the tour May 19th and ending it on July 9th. And I was fortunate enough last year that I got to start the tour with you and end it with you, which is really rare. So, what was it like being on the road?
Oh, dude, it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. This was kind of like my first, like real tour. I'd done like weekend warrior type stuff where you leave on like a Friday and you come back on a Monday sort of thing. But I had never done like a bus tour really until until this tour. So I guess you could say I popped my cherry with this one. So I really just got on the bus and tried to act like this wasn't like a first experience. And like I'd done this a million times. I've been on a bus, yeah, trying to act cool. But in reality, I was just freaking out.
Well, you were fine when I met you the first time.
Oh, dude, it was funny because where were we in Oklahoma? Was that
You were in Ardmore. It was actually it was the first time I'd ever been to Ardmore. I'd heard of it, but never been there physically.
well, the funny story was is when we first got there, we're still on the bus. We hadn't really left the bus yet, and there were people already lined up to really just meet the band. And at that point, just because we had hung out for so long that I forgot that Bud is a movie star. So when I saw the line of people, I was like, man, this band is like really, really popular.
He's got fans all over. You guys have a lot of fans all over.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then I realized I was like, this band is popular, but also it's it's Bud. You know what I'm saying?
Him and JD write some of the greatest music I've heard, and I wish I had met them sooner and got on earlier. But I'm fortunate enough to know them for 6 years now.
Oh, dude. I will say, hanging with them, it was really effortless. It was just a lot of fun.
I want to know. I had mentioned this to JD previously last year when I had first talked about the tour. When you got the phone call, they said it was less than 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So basically what happened was JD called a buddy of mine and said, "Hey, can you recommend a drummer for the tour out of LA?" And he said, "Well, unfortunately, I just moved to Nashville, so I don't know anyone else in LA anymore, but I do know a kid in Nashville." And he says, "I'll reach out to him." And he called, or no, he didn't call me. He texted me, and he basically said, "Hey, when you get a sec, call me." And this guy's the type of dude that when he sends you that text, that usually means I've got 15 minutes. Call me right now. And I called him, and he answered the phone. He's like, "Hey, uh, would you want to be in Billy Bob Thornton's band?" And I said, "Yeah, cool." And immediately hung up. And then JD texted me. I sent him a few videos, and then I was at work, and then I got a text from JD saying, "Hey, Bud's about to call you. Answer the phone." And then 10 seconds later, I got a call from a restricted number. And I answered the phone. I said, "Hello." He goes, "Hey, Bud, it's Bud."
Yes, I was like,
And I nearly threw my own across the warehouse 50 yards. So it was kind of like a who am I kind of moment.
yeah.
But yeah, that's basically how I got the call. It's just you want to be in the band? I was like, "Yeah, cool." Boom. That was it.
Um, Now, I think you had answered this question at the beginning, but had you heard of the Boxmasters before that you had getting that phone call or knowing about them?
I had known about them a little bit, not too much.
And then I want to say, how has your drumming evolved whenever since the tour?
Oh, dude. I mean, the cool part about it is Bud is a drummer, and he's a great drummer. He's an absolute music nerd. He knows more about music than I do. So, I mean,
That's actually his first album behind me. I had like months trying to hunt that down.
oh, dude, yeah. But he's a great drummer, and his music knowledge is just so expansive. And so basically, he's taught me a lot about drumming and just like fill wise and everything, playing tasteful wise. Because every once in a while when we were in rehearsals, I would do a fill and I would just get a side eye from him. Basically, that was his way of saying that wasn't the fill.
uh,
And then we'd be on the bus and he'd be like, yo, I got to show you this album. And I'll let you know this now. Whenever you listen to music with Bud, the tunes are going to be cranking.
real? Oh, I haven't yet.
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
got to experience
Yeah,
that yet.
the bus is hopping down the interstate while we're doing it. Oh, yeah, dude, it's a blast.
I got to ask Bud what his drumstick is because there's different weights. Do you and him play with the same weight, or do you like using different sticks?
Uh Mine's pretty similar to his. His is usually just like a regular, I think it's a 5A. I think he's just recently switched to like the maple, which is just a different lighter wood than hickory, which is what I use. But I mean, we're pretty similar.
Now, I want to say that your fans that are watching this, that they're coming on the tour because you have two epic albums that are coming out. You have the Boxmasters 66, which was a surprise for most of the fans. And then you have the tour, which is called 69. Without giving out the set list, are you guys going to be playing songs from both the albums?
I believe so, but I really think you're just gonna have to come to the shows and find out for yourselves. I don't want to like give out trade secrets.
There we go. Say before everything is announced. There we go. Um, I wanted to ask, since I know a couple other drummers, who would you like to get to play with if you had the chance?
Man, that is a tough question. I mean, one of my favorite bands, believe it or not, is Beach Boys.
Oh,
Um, Pet Sounds is one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm actually wearing the Beach Boys Pendleton shirt right now, the same one that they wore on the album cover. Recently, I've been getting into the Black Keys a
yep,
lot.
love.
Um, I've also been getting into the Mars Volta, really diving deep into John Theodore's drummer, or John Theodore, that drummer. Um, let's see who else. What would be the dream gig? Man, tough question.
It just
Probably
depends.
the Mars Volta.
Oh,
I mean, going back to my childhood, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Black Keys, like I said. What's another band? Let me pull up my Spotify.
yeah.
Let me give you a real and
Isn't the Black Keys from Nashville
what were
or
you
Black
saying?
Peppers?
I'm pretty sure they are from Nashville.
Yeah, I saw an episode of
Let me
American. I
see.
think it was American Pickers, and they were in Nashville or they lived there. No, I had a blast when I was in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
15.
Oh,
It's
dude, Nashville's a lot of fun. There's so much stuff to do here. Yeah, when Jen and Bill were in town, I took him to my favorite arcade, and because Bill's a real big pinball guy.
oh, I'm a huge yeah. Me and Harry love pinball.
Oh, dude, well, if you're in Nashville, we gotta go. It's called Game Terminal.
Game terminal. I'll have that on there. So
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've been listening to everything from Lettuce, Daft Punk, and been really deeply going into Prince's just music log. So I think probably the dream gig would be gigs. Let's say Mars Volta, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Prince, and then to be honest with you, I hate to be repetitive. The Boxmasters, it's just a blast.
Well, it's rare because when I got turned into them in 2017 by accident, I didn't know they had a band. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
listened to the CD and like the way they structured their music and the way they put so much work into it, it's better than what you actually hear on the radio.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, part of that is because it's all self-contained. They've got their own studio. JD does all the mixing and all that. So, I mean, really no one has a say in their music other than them.
Yeah, it's some of the best stuff that I love, and that's why I'm so fortunate enough to get to know you guys. I
Oh, dude, it's a blast hanging out with you whenever you're here.
I did want to say I have a few more for you, then you and me can catch up on a few things. Since you're part of the Boxmasters and then you're establishing your fan base, have you thought about doing virtual drumming lessons for your fans or a way to they can interact with you?
I've never actually thought about it, not yet at least. Um, I mean, let's see. I don't have the necessary equipment yet. I will soon, but once I do, I'd be more than willing to give drum lessons to anyone that would want them.
There we go. And then we've talked about your influences. We need to plug the Boxmasters tour in there and anything else you want to tell your fans or anything else you want to plug for this interview.
Let's see. I mean, nothing other than we're gonna be touring across the country once again, um, playing shows from the West Coast to the East Coast and everywhere in between, and look forward to seeing anyone and everyone.
And we'll have those links below. And if you have checked the Boxmaster store, some of the slowly being updated, but then recently they have Boxmaster 66 album up, and then more stuff's going to be added soon as well.